Want to ask about President Biden. He is saying he's going to run again in 2024. Will you support him?
You know, if the president chooses to run again in 2024, I mean, first of all, I'm focused on winning this majority right now and preserving a majority this year in 2022. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think if the president has a vision, and that's something certainly we're all willing to entertain and examine when the time comes.
That's not a yes.
Yeah, you know, I think we should endorse when we get to it. But I believe that the president has been doing a very good job so far. And, you know, should he run again, I think that I think it's we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
But right now we need to focus on winning a majority instead of a presidential election.
As the midterm elections in this year approach, naturally, we're talking about presidential election of 2024. Their AOC was being asked about whether or not she would support Joe Biden to run for re-election. And all really we got from that was that I'm probably better at acting like I'm for something that I'm actually not for than she is. She's had more practice at this, but you know, who knows? I think it's pretty clear she's not looking to support Joe Biden and probably hopes that she doesn't have to even answer that question because maybe he won't run. That's not just probably in her head, as the Washington Post reports this. As the challenges face the nation mount and fatigued base voters show low enthusiasm, Democrats in union meetings, the back rooms of Capitol Hill, and party gatherings from coast to coast are quietly worrying about Joe Biden's leadership, his age, and his capability to take the fight to former President Trump a second time. Here's a quote. To say our country was on the right track would flagrantly depart from reality is what Steve Simondis says, a Democratic National Committee member from Miami. Mr. Biden, he said, should announce his intent not to seek re-election 24 right after the midterms. Woo! Also, the presidency is a monstrously taxing job, and the stark reality is the president will be closer to 90 than 80 at the end of a second term, and that would be a major issue. That's what David Axelrod said, who's the chief strategist for Obama, who won 2 presidential campaigns. So everyone listens to Axelrod. People also listen to Fox News. Bret Baier was talking about this as well. Let's watch.
What are Democrats going to do in 2024?
Something else, it looks like. I mean, the whisper is now much louder in just the past few weeks. And the president's public efforts, including that Jimmy Kimmel appearance, have not helped anything. In fact, they've only increased what has been happening in Democratic circles. These are not, you know, Republicans. These are not conservatives like lobbing grenades rhetorically. They are Democrats saying we have a real issue, a major issue, in the words of David Axelrod.
So Bret Baier then also outlining that, but then again, right after he finishes his normal, probably down the line news commentary on this, Rachel Campos Duffy, of course, has to jump in, and they both have a bit of a misleading propaganda-like conversation about what's going on. Let's watch.
You know, Bret, it's kind of interesting to me because he's actually done everything that his party has wanted him to do. And as Pete brought up earlier, I don't know if there is another candidate in the wings, whether it's Pete Buttigieg or Kamala, who would do anything differently.
I agree with you, and one of the things that may have to happen is that there has to be a come to Jesus after the midterms if they really do take the shellacking that's planned on the blueprint, as President Obama referred to his massive loss in midterm. Then maybe the party looks internally and says we need to take a different way. It's tough to see that considering how vocal and powerful the progressive side of the party has been inside Democratic politics.
Vocal and powerful, the progressives have been inside the Democratic Party, Jessica. As we saw AOC there off the top, fumble and stumble her way through trying not to say she does not want to support Joe Biden. But let's just flip reality on its head.
Yeah, I love how AOC deflected that, but not in like a real politician kind of way, right? It was very real, like, I don't want to give an answer to this question. I kind of like that. But the bottom line here is if you run on a platform with progressive policies and you don't govern and pass those progressive policies, or at least try pretty hard to, you're not gonna win re-election. It's pretty simple. And at the end of April, there was a poll that came out by Harvard Caps Harris And not much has happened since the end of April. Biden hasn't done anything groundbreaking. I think this data is still probably reliable, but 58% of the country was saying they'd rather vote for an independent if it was a Trump-Biden election. And so if you're a Democratic operative, look at the data. Instead, a lot of people within the Biden administration are saying, we've been great with Ukraine. We're doing a lot to resolve inflation. We've repaired the country following the pandemic economically. But that's not the experience of everyday people. They really want a candidate who's going to improve life for them, who's going to get them better wages, who's going to reduce economic inequality. They want someone who treats the problems in our country like they're very real, because they are. And it's like Democratic operatives, especially within the Biden administration with more moderate Democrats, treat politics like they're on the West Wing, like these issues aren't real, and like politics is a game. And people really want a candidate that's going to address the problems in our country in a bold and real way, and actually try, even when Congress is gridlocked, to get something done. And Biden has not done that. I don't think he has a shot at winning if he runs again.
Imagine the frustration from progressives, the fact that, again, as you said, runs on this kind of platform, doesn't really do it, or at least fight hard enough to consistently say the reasons why he's not able to do it and name names, because we know the problem with the gridlock and the two Democrats that are also opposing his agenda. But if you don't fight for it, people get frustrated. And then on the back end, you got people like Rachel Campbell-Dovey claiming that all those folks that are frustrated are getting everything they want. It's life upside down, and people then vote based off of that BS.